everyone. Welcome to the KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Chris Higgins in the studio with you, and I tell you what, it is a very, very special morning. And oh, I have the music, but I didn't play it. And let me see if real quick I can pull it up, because I know this will make one of our guests very, very happy if I play this. And yes, I have it right here, so hold on, folks. We have some old friends in the studio this morning, and you might be familiar with a program that they did on KMOG for many years, and they're no longer there, and we are very, very fortunate to have them right here in KRIM, in the studio, to talk about what other than, let me play this for you real quick.
Oh boy!
That's right.
Yes.
To talk about movies, we have the movie guys in the studio this morning. Craig, Tina, Andy. Welcome, guys.
Oh, thanks, Randy.
Good
morning.
Hey, you can call me
Chris.
Randy. That's
Thanks,
okay.
Chris.
Hey, Randy,
We
Chris.
love you. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome, guys. Hey, I should have had that loaded. Kind of been scrambling around this morning with everything going on, but hey, wanted to welcome you guys, and with that movie intro, and it's exciting. I'm excited to have you guys in here to talk about movies, and just to have you in here.
And Chris, believe me, we are delighted to be here in your brand new KRIM studio.
And grateful. Thank
Hey,
you.
You are so welcome.
And hello, Rim Country.
Hey.
We're back.
There we go. We're back. No, that is great.
That's a line from a movie. I'll be back.
Yeah, we
we're
are
back.
back. We all back. No, so hey, it is great. Again, great to have you in. And first, Craig, maybe to talk a little bit about, and I know we are tired, I know of hearing about it, but it is something that is affecting the community, affecting everyone. But with COVID-19, the movie theater,
Yes.
I know you guys have been doing a lot, sanitizing, everything, but what can you tell people that if they are a little hesitant to maybe go to the movies?
Oh, sure. Well, it's definitely, really affected movie theaters. Not just on distancing and everything else, but the studios have pulled back a lot of the movies. So the product is not quite there that we've been used to in the past.
Mm-hmm.
We brought it down to about 35% capacity. Right in there, we've got every other row blocked off. So basically, plenty of space in the theaters.
Gotcha.
That's face masks now, of course, going on with that. So yeah, we've taken all the precautions that we can, really, and face shields up, hand sanitizer. We're set for it.
And then one of the things, and I think it, well, I don't know if it needs to be pointed out, but I saw someone commenting. Obviously, if you're eating, you're drinking in there, then just like a restaurant or any other place, you take the mask off.
I thought you had to stuff it under your face mask.
No, I think it's you take it off there, I believe.
Just kind of use the face mask as a feed bag and fill it with popcorn and just eat it that way.
That's not a bad idea.
No,
That's a really good idea.
Don't give me any ideas, Craig. Okay? Yeah, the way I eat popcorn, I guess most people do. We don't need feedback. You mentioned that really, as always, it is a case where the theaters, they are at the mercy of the movie companies and what is being put out.
Sure.
But I have to say, you have a classic in there right now that I really need to go see on the big screen again, because it is one of the greats, and that's Raiders of the Ark.
Yes. Oh yeah. Absolute classic. Harrison Ford. Clearly one of the most iconic films of American history.
Yes, really good.
Yeah.
And that's probably the single greatest Himalayan bar fist fight ever recorded.
That's right. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
really.
it is a good one.
And the scene where he shoots the guy with a sword, which just goes to
Classic.
prove don't bring a sword to a
Gunfight. That was the visual of that saying. That
This
is
one, all the way back to 1981.
Oh, my
1981.
goodness.
So it is really good. Parents, if you're listening, grandparents, it's a great history lesson for children as far as not actual history, but as far as cinematic history.
That's right. The history of movies.
History
Yes.
movies,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, there
Good
was
stuff.
one time Harrison Ford was in, I think, 6 or 7 of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Wow.
He had the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies and the Star Wars movies.
Mhm.
I guess it
Oh,
was
true
would have
that,
been
yeah.
would have been 6 of the
Yeah.
top 10 of all time.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
Spielberg's quite a good director.
Oh, and by the way, I just watched Minority Report last night.
Mm.
Steven Spielberg. Holy moly, what an amazing movie that is. It's on Prime.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other movies that is playing right now in the Sawmill movie theaters, Bourne Supremacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Jason Bourne, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Damon. I know. And,
He's excellent.
yeah, he is. He is such a solid actor.
Yes.
Yeah, never really thought about him before Bourne Supremacy. Never really thought about him as an action hero.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, he really pulls this off.
Mhm.
There's a great line where they're sitting in a cafe, him and the girl that he's convinced to help him escape from Switzerland,
Mhm.
and he mentions that he doesn't remember very much about his past, but he can look into the parking lot and tell you with a high degree of accuracy which of the long haul trucks is most likely to have a firearm in the glove compartment.
Oh boy.
And that's pretty good training there.
Yeah. And you know, as far as actors go, that really separates, you know, the good ones from great ones when
Yeah.
they can go into a role that you just don't think, I don't know if they'll do well with that. I don't know if they'll be convincing.
Yes.
And they are.
Yes.
That really is a sign, I feel, of a great actor.
And Damon has proven that he can do anything that you show to him, he can pull it off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my favorites of his is The Talented Mr. Ripley,
Oh, yeah.
which actually people should go see that again.
Mhm.
They should also read the book by
Mm.
Patricia Highsmith,
Mhm.
because it is said that she portrayed the perfect portrayal of a psychopath.
Wow.
Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's great. The teacher coming out in Tina right there. And read the book.
Read the book. Reid the book
I
before
don't-
you see the movie.
That's good because Andy and Craig, you guys don't ever say that, do you?
Except now I'm going to make an exception because Minority Report is made from a Philip K. Dick short story,
Huh.
and so is Blade Runner. And I'm telling you, Philip K. Dick had great ideas, but his writing kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And so my husband and I were talking about how the movies, in this case, were always better than the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Philip K, if you're listening.
Sorry, he
But,
was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
unusual.
Yeah, it is unusual,
What-
but it's true of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
He had great movies, which
Mhm.
I don't think. Well, he was a consultant on Blade Runner. He was
Hmm.
still alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And wasn't the original title Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Yes.
Yes, and my husband and I were talking about that last night. How it is so tangentially, barely related to Blade Runner. I mean, just go see
Yeah.
Blade Runner. Forget about the
Well-
short story.
I'm very glad they went with Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like, who can
I'm
remember
just
that
saying.
title, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his
wow.
imagination was
Yes.
unparalleled.
Wow. Another movie that is playing at Sawmill movie theaters right now is Mummy. And is that Mummy Brandon Fraser?
Brandon Fraser.
Yeah,
Brandon
Fraser. He's great.
1999.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
The original and the best of
Yes.
the Mummy movies.
Yes.
I
All
believe
good.
so. That was
All good.
another one that when that came out, Brandon Fraser had done Encino Man and kind of had the funny roles.
Yeah.
And for him to be in that role, I thought, how is this going to be? But he did a very
He
good
pulled
job.
it off very well.
He did. Yeah.
Unlike Jack Black in Godzilla. Or
Yeah.
King Kong.
King
whatever.
Kong.
Yeah, King
Okay,
Kong.
derisive laughter, derisive laughter.
I do. I love Jack Black.
Yes.
But that is harder for him.
Yeah.
He is just such a funny guy. He's a funny guy, and just facial expressions, everything, and so that would be a little bit harder for him to be, I feel, convincing to me at least.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think in the Mummy, I think there's a lot of clever stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole character who's the pilot, and he's it's just a small character, but they really develop him terrifically. I think they make him a real person, and instead of just, well, he's the guy that drives the plane.
Yes.
No, he's a crotchety old drunk.
Yeah, and that's good. When there's a movie that you maybe don't expect that character development.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a nice surprise, and it really adds to the movie.
Yeah. Especially kind of a dumb mummy movie.
Yes.
You're not expecting very much, and you get, and that's why I think we like the Mummy, is because we get more than we expect out of it.
That's so true. That's true with many things. If you go in and there's this very high expectation, it's very easy to be let down. So with the bigger movies, the blockbusters, the Star Wars movies, Avengers,
the Avengers.
all of those where we have our expectations up here real high.
Right.
But other movies like The Mummy, how high are our expectations? And wow, they did a really good job.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. The next movie I see on the list here, I don't recognize. Bloodshot. Bloodshot.
But this is a Vin Diesel film.
Oh, okay.
Actually, this one came out in March. This was kind of at the start of this whole thing, and it got put on delay there, so we're bringing it in now.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a little bit of a kind of a superhero movie. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it anything? What was the other movie he did where he? I don't know, in space or on planet, and not one of the XXX, but where he's a, I don't even
Pitch
know.
Black.
Pitch Black,
Oh,
is
Pitch
it?
Black.
Pitch
Oh,
Black
yeah,
movie?
with the Pitch Black films.
Yeah.
Riddick.
Riddick, that's
Yes,
it,
Chronicles of
Riddick.
Riddick, yeah.
Yes.
These guys know.
Yeah. Similar to that at all, or different?
No.
No, okay. Nothing like it.
More superhero than that.
More superhero than that.
It's kind of an intro. A Bloodshot is a comic book character.
Oh, okay.
That they put on screen here.
Wow, there we go. I'm showing my ignorance when it comes to comic books.
Oh, there's so many comic books out there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, well, we've seen the DC DC comic books that have been made into movies, the Batman and Superman, and then the whole Marvel universe, which now there are just dozens of movies out. So we've seen all of that. We've seen the DC, we've seen the Marvel, and this isn't DC and this isn't Marvel.
Oh.
This is from the fabulous Valiant movie or comic book.
Valiant?
Yeah. I never heard of it.
All I can think of is Prince Valiant.
Yeah.
That's taken.
Valiant, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, Bloodshot has sold 7 million copies of the Valiant comic book. So.
Wow. Hey,
But
so take it to film.
Who knew?
It's a pretty cool concept. He's
Yeah.
just a soldier that actually dies, and
He's murdered.
They bring him back with nanotech.
Oh.
So he's got all these little nanotech guys in his bloodstream, and so if
Whoa.
he gets shot, they kind of put him all back
They
together
mend him.
again, and so he's more or less invulnerable.
Yeah.
And and Vin Diesel is such a huge action
Yeah.
star, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm counting this.
Mhm.
This might be kind of off the mainstream, but
Mhm.
the young Marine
Mm-hmm.
is murdered,
Mm-hmm.
and then he comes back to life.
Yes.
Now, if you're dead and you're alive again, what are you?
A zombie?
A zombie, and that's
he had to
so
get it
you
in
picked
there,
that right
right.
up, didn't
Yeah.
you?
You
Yeah.
pulled me right into that one.
Yeah. So
No matter what, it'll always come
With
back.
It'll
the-
come back. Gotcha. Okay.
with 3 degrees of zombie movies.
Okay. I learned quick. I'm a quick learner, so I'll remember that. Let me see real quick. If you guys can guess my favorite Vin Diesel movie.
You guys.
One guess.
Roustabout guys.
Rest of the guys?
I don't.
Do you know Vin Diesel?
Fast and Furious.
No, the pacifier.
Pacifier.
The pacifier.
Terrible.
Oh, that one. Come on, a Navy SEAL that's a babysitter. He gets bit by a duck on the ear. I mean, that's a great one.
Yeah, I see where this is
The
going.
pacifier. And he has the wrestling move, remember? And that's where he shows the pacifier with the guy from the daytime show, Ray Romano, and the big guy, his brother, you know, that talks like that. And he's the wrestling coach, and he shows him the pacifier. Yeah, that's
I see where this is going.
a kid's, you know, with 8 children, Andy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of you know, XXX or Fast and Furious, you know, too much with the young kids. So
Right,
yeah.
right.
Hey,
In Knock, I think it's Knockaround Guys,
Yeah.
not Roustabout Guys, but he plays an enforcer for the mob,
Ooh.
and he has to go to Wyoming, I think, to sort something out,
Mhm.
and he's in this cowboy bar in Wyoming, and there's this huge bouncer.
Mm.
And he gets nose to nose with this guy, but you know, Diesel is not
That
all
tall.
that big.
So
yeah.
nose to chest.
Yeah, and he looks at this guy and he just says 500. And the guy looks at him, he's kind of puzzled. Says, what? 500 fights. I thought I had to be in 500 fights before I could call myself a tough guy. And boy, that worked just fine.
Mhm.
The bouncer thought that over and thought, oh, well, okay, you know, maybe I'm really not as mad at this guy as I thought I was.
There you go. Yeah, 500. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, he is a good tough guy.
Yeah, he
is
is.
a good
Because
tough.
He is.
Tina and I think, will be seeing this afternoon at what time?
I think so.
Well, the
1:15?
show times are 1:15, yep,
Yeah.
and 3:15.
No,
One-
1:15.
4:15, and
7:15.
7:15. There you go.
Yeah.
So
So
there
I'll
you
be
go.
seeing it at 1:15. I like to see Vin Diesel punch guys out.
Yeah, thank you for
Good stuff.
reminding me how to read the movie
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah.
It's been so long since actually having the shop, having scoops when we had them in there, and I was good at reading them, but now, wow, I'm out of practice. So thank you. Hey, the next movie on here, Addams Family,
Addams Family.
and that's a fun.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Ba-dum,
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 ba-dum, ba-dum.
This is a 2018 animated kids Addams Family.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, this is another one. So we got the four great action films in there,
Mhm.
and then we got a couple for the kids.
Yeah.
And Addams Family is one of them.
There we go. Well, maybe I know a movie that I enjoyed that maybe similar to this, not exactly the same, but really enjoyed those Transylvania movies.
Oh, yeah,
with
Hotel
the kids.
Transylvania.
Hotel
Yeah.
Transylvania.
Yes, yeah.
And so I could see maybe the Addams Family, you know, if it's done in a similar way to where it's just very fun, you know, enjoyable.
Yeah, you know, and kind of maybe people are kind of wondering, but you know, like you said, the studios have pulled a lot of their stuff back. So that's why
especially
we're,
Universal.
Yeah, we're doing a hate moment on Universal.
Oh,
We need a doll with
okay.
pins.
Oh no! Don't go all voodoo up in here. No way, not in the Karen
Come on,
cottage.
you remember, I'm from Jamaica. We do
I know. Let's leave that in Jamaica. Oh, boy.
I actually agree. That stuff is bad bongo.
Bad juju.
Bad
Bad juju.
what we were looking at.
Back to the Addams Family.
Yes, so we're looking at over the next few weeks. You know, AMC, Cinemark, Regal. These guys are starting to open back up again.
Mhm.
You know, Cinemark has a few theaters open right now. As these bigger theaters start to open up, that's when we're going to start seeing some new product coming back in. You know, July is really going to kind of where it kicks back in.
Mhm.
So these older films that we're playing right now will kind of start to phase out as we start to bring in some of the newer stuff.
All right, there we go.
So, and that's the other one too. You know, we're doing all these movies for $5.
That's there we go.
$5,
Yeah,
you know, all day. That's, you know, matinee, evening, all day.
yeah. No, that
That
is.
is-
Old guys, young guys, it doesn't matter.
Such a deal.
Yeah, no, that is very true. And again, here with the movie guys, if you're just tuning in with Craig and Tina and Andy, hopefully they found a new home here in the K-Room Cottage Fridays, and I'll just put it out there. hopefully next Friday or the next time they're on, they'll be interviewed by Randy Roberson. So it'll be a true reunion for you guys.
The fourth movie guy.
The fourth movie
Who
guy.
never goes to movies.
Who never goes to movies. That's classic. That's classic. I love it. He's still a movie guy.
We're here to hold him accountable.
There it is. Yeah.
Gone with the Wind, is that like hurricanes and stuff?
Oh, they banned that. Are you kidding? They banned that. Yeah.
No, and it's on. That's I know. We won't go. I know.
HBO said it. They took it up. But you know, and
it's still a classic. It's a classic.
And Hattie McDaniel won the first Oscar of any African American.
And how
Seriously?
poetic to mention that today
yeah.
on Juneteenth. It's
Oh, that's
Juneteenth.
right. Well, happy
Yes.
Juneteenth.
Yes.
Juneteenth
Yes,
to you.
celebration
Juneteenth,
of the
yes.
emancipation.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So yeah, so Trolls. That's another movie, the last movie. So another great kids movie.
Trolls World Tour, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another one that came out back in March.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, April 10th on this one. Again, so it was kind of right in the middle of the shutdown when we weren't able to bring these in.
Mhm.
But this is one we still got going to. Another great PG animated kids film.
It is, and it makes me think back. I cannot help but think back to my childhood with those little trolls that we would rub between our hands and make their hair go all
the
crazy,
hair
the
thing.
orange
Yeah.
hair.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the little
Oh.
troll dolls
Yes.
or pencil toppers. They were on top of
Right.
pencils.
Well, you're not that old.
I'm-
I'm that old.
Yeah, well, no. Look at Craig and I with the gray and Andy with the gray. Wow,
Yeah.
we match.
And me with the hairdresser.
Oh, that's funny. No, Trolls. It was a great movie. I know. I really enjoyed that watching it with the kids.
Sure.
It's great when you have the children's movies that can entertain and make adults laugh.
Yes.
Because they
Yes.
are truly funny.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and maybe Adam's Family is a little more on that. You know, there's a little more adult, I think, with that one than Trolls.
Gotcha. No, still, and it's great that you do, and you always, I know, strive to have a great variety at the Sawmill Theaters, where you have some children's movies, action movies, PG-13, R, and you guys do a great job with that.
Well, we got to try to mix it up, and you know, things are slow right now. People are still kind of getting used to the whole thing. So, you know, you're coming into the theater, you're going to have plenty of space in there. That's not going to be an issue.
And it is really fun to see some of these old ones. I saw Jaws here a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
On the
I
big screen.
hadn't seen the Jaws on the big screen in, I don't know, 50 years or however long it's been. A long time.
Yes.
And boy, was it fun.
Yeah.
And Spielberg,
Yeah, again.
again and always, I guess.
Yeah. And the great Robert Shaw. Oh man, one of my all-time favorite actors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're, as I'm bringing these movies in, you'll see a lot of Spielberg. I think the greatest director of all time.
Yes.
I think we need to
I
get
think so.
Minority Report on the big screen because I just seen that last night.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Tom!
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise, what an
Yeah.
amazing guy he is.
Mhm.
He's you know his ability to do his own stunts
Mm-hmm.
and also to be very compelling
Mhm.
as a presence on screen. It's
Mhm.
really amazing.
And he can be funny too.
Yeah.
I keep watching a movie called Night and Day because it's on TV all the time, and it's kind of a spy spoof, and it's really funny. And
Yeah.
he's very charming and clever and cute. It's fun.
He's really good.
Another one of those great actors.
Yes,
Just,
he is.
You know,
Yeah,
he
and
is.
he's also a star.
Mhm.
And there's that sort of difference between an actor and a star, and some people are both,
Mm.
and he's both. You know, but if you look at Elizabeth Taylor, she was kind of a star rather than an
Yes.
actress.
Ah,
You know,
wow.
So if you think about that.
Yeah. So
We
good.
studied that in film school. So.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
this I love what I love about the movie guys in this show is it is very educational as well because there is so much to cinema. There's so
Yes.
much to cinema.
Yes.
I think that we just really maybe casually overlook, you know, or take for granted. But when you get deeper, it's really interesting. It's a lot of fun.
And Tina actually knows what she's talking about. She's studied
I
film
think
at the university.
I actually have a degree in radio, TV, and film.
Yeah.
That was my major at Northwestern, class of 69.
Northwestern.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I know, really.
So there's the credibility for you guys.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm the only credible one here? I don't think so.
there's other people that majored in girls and ganja.
What? You see it?
Wait, was that Northwestern University of Jamaica?
Northwestern
Okay.
University of Evanston, Illinois.
There, okay.
Yes,
Just needed to clarify.
1969, major in radio, TV, and film, minor in English, minor in French.
Tell them what you did your thesis on.
I did my thesis, my senior thesis on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yes. I did. And because there was no videotape,
Yeah.
I had to go see that movie. I saw that movie 8 times in 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah, I sat in the theater and took notes.
Took notes.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yay.
There we go. And so all you youngins listening out there, she just didn't pull it up on YouTube or, yeah, she had to go to the cinema
Yes,
8
cinema,
times and take notes
Yeah,
on a piece of paper with a pen,
Yes.
not on a tablet.
No.
Is that the greatest Western of all time?
Oh man! And we did show that. Craig showed that in the
Good, the
theater.
Bad, the Ugly, yeah.
Fabulous.
Mm.
Yes. Eli Wallach and the great Clint and Lee Van Cleef,
Wow.
who I met. Oh, he was amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Tombstone. Tombstone was a good one.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, that was great.
So many good.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer and
We'll do a whole show on westerns one of these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. So many good. Ooh, a Western show. Yeah, when there's a good Western in the theater.
Yes.
That'd be
You know,
good.
Yes.
I am trying to get The Unforgiven.
Oh.
To bring that one in.
Oh man, that is one of the all-time greats.
And some of the studios are holding on to. They said they'll be releasing that one later in the summer. So
Mhm.
maybe in July.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
July we'll be able to get that in there.
There we go. And you can go to the Sawmill Theater website to see, sawmilltheater.com. That easy to see what is playing, the times, and also movies that are coming soon.
Yes, yeah.
And please, Rim Country, go back to the theater. We
Mhm.
need you. We love you.
Yes.
It's, big screen. There's nothing like it.
Mhm.
We tell people too, if you want to come in and check it out, see what we're doing,
Mhm.
feel free. We'll give you a little tour, and you can kind of judge for yourself how everything's going. And
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, today we're just do the half hour, but next program, looking forward to an expanded hour, and again with Randy and phone calls, Facebook Live. Who knows? I mean,
I'll get
yes.
to talk more.
Yes, Andy, you
Oh,
can talk
boy.
more about movies and other things.
zombies.
And zombies.
Zombies, right?
Has there been a movie guy show where you haven't mentioned zombies?
No.
I think there was, but he forgot.
He's like, wait, I didn't mention zombies once. How did I not work that into the show? That's funny. Hey, well, thank you so much, guys, for coming in. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you for having us.
The
Yes,
movie
appreciate it.
guys.
Yes.
Oh, you are so welcome. And thank you, everyone for listening. Thank you again to Desert Financial for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. Let's get back to the music with Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones, right here on your
Yes.
classic hit station.
Keith Richard is not a zombie.
Do you have proof? Do you have proof? Do you have proof?
I swear.
Yeah. I don't know.